Hey, so for this week, I pulled three news articles that connects to what we covered in class. So one of the articles was on food waste, one was on pesticides in conventional produce, and one was on AI and fish farming. And I'll walk through each one and tell what stood out to me. So the first one is from REFED, which is a nonprofit that tracks food waste across the US. They just dropped their 2026 report on April 7th, and the headline is actually kind of hopeful. For the first time since the pandemic, food waste in the US is going down. So the total surplus food dropped from 2.2% in 2024, and per person, it was down almost 4%. What's interesting is that most of the drop came from regular households and not from businesses or restaurants. People cut nearly 1 million tons of food waste at home. And REFED basically thinks higher grocery prices are the reason. When food costs more, people are more careful about using up what they end up buying. This ties straight into what we talked about in lecture, where waste happens at every stage. Leftovers on a plate, restaurants making too much, stores tossing imperfect produce. And what got me thinking was that household behavior is actually a huge lever. The average American throws out like $760 worth of food a year. And I think this is pretty insane because when I think about my own fridge, I forget about leftovers all the time. My second article is from CNN, and it was published March 11th. So apparently, almost 40% of non-organic fruits and vegetables grown in California have residues of PFAS in the pesticides, and those are forever chemicals, um, and they're called that because they basically don't break down ever. And California grows about half the country's vegetables and most of its fruits and nuts, so this isn't a small problem. Some of these chemicals showed up on more than 90% of nectarines, peaches, and plums, and they've been linked to cancer, immune issues, reproductive harm, and the EPA is actually considering approving more of them for crops like corn and rice. This is connected really clearly to our class discussion on industrial agriculture and the organic premium. We talked about conventional farming is built around maximizing yields, and that often means heavy pesticide use. While organic certification bans synthetic chemicals, this article kind of shows the hidden cost of that yield first approach. And it made me think about the organic premium differently, like paying an extra couple dollars for organic isn't just about the taste and marketing. You're also paying to avoid stuff that literally, can never go away from your body. So my third article, the last one, is from Civil Eats, and it was posted April 6th, and it's about AI being used in fish farming, and it's mainly for salmon. Apparently, there are over 90 companies building AI tools for aquaculture right now, and these tools can track water quality, can spot sick fish, find sea lice, and figure out how much to feed the fish, which matters because the fish feed is usually around 60% of a fish farm's cost. The article is pretty balanced. It says that AI sometimes gives weird results. The data isn't always great, and a small amount of fish farms can't really use it. Um, it's mostly the big industrial operations that use it. This connects to our aquaculture section where we talked about how supporters say it can feed everyone without overfishing the ocean, but there are some real downsides like disease, fish escapes, antibiotics, pollution, and the article kind of shows both sides. AI might help spot sick fish earlier, so they'll end up using less chemicals, but it also reinforced the dominance of giant industrial fish farms compared to like the smaller ones, which end up causing most of the problems in the first place. It made me think that technology by itself doesn't really answer whether it's good or bad for the world, but it kind of depends on who's in control and who's running it. And yeah, these were my three articles, and I thought they all kind of connected back to the bigger question of how we balance feeding a lot of people, but by balancing, not destroying the environment and our own personal health in the process. Thank you for listening.